Hello and welcome to Monday's Granada Reports. We are live across the northwest.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on the programme this evening.
A day on from the news that shocked us all. Friends, family, fans and the boxing world stunned by the sudden death of Ricky Hatton.
Richard Hatton!
He was the child star who became a superstar. We look back at the life of a man who knew massive highs and lows, but never forgot his roots.
Preparing to relive the worst day of their lives, the parents of the 3 girls murdered in the Southport attack give their statements to the public inquiry.
He ran barefoot and raised thousands. Meet Mr. Haywood, the hero teacher hoping to become Granada's Pride of Britain Awards nominee.
The Emmy goes to Owen Cooper. I love him.
The Warrington wonder kid, Owen Cooper, enjoys an ecstatic evening at the Emmys.
And it's been a blustery start to the week with plenty more unsettled weather ahead. I'll have all the details later on in the forecast.
So first tonight, in his family's words, Ricky Hatton was a man who had a heart as big as his smile.
Yeah, one of boxing's greatest champions. He gave everything inside the ring and wore his heart on his sleeve outside it. And Ricky's sudden death at the age of 46 has left his loved ones, his many friends and the whole boxing world numb with shock and sadness.
Sadness also in his hometown of Hyde, among supporters of his beloved Manchester City and among the many whose lives he touched. This is the scene outside Ricky Hatton's home in Hyde right now, where fans have been leaving flowers all day.
Our correspondent Chris Hall now looks at the reaction to his passing from the boxing world and beyond.
Ricky Hitman Hatton!
The carpet fitter turned world champion who believed anything was possible has left everyone in disbelief.
Devastated, absolutely heartbroken, gobsmacked, legend, absolute legend.
I was in total shock. Oh, the best boxer in the world, isn't he? It's fantastic, wasn't he?
It was very saddening, obviously him being a hero of mine. Someone I looked up to, someone I took a lot of advice from as well. It was heartbreaking.
He was the most popular fighter of his generation, from talented amateur to two-weight world champion, and as sharp with his wit as with his fists, he transcended boxing. Oasis frontman Liam Gallagher said he was absolutely devastated to hear the news. It was an honour to know him and carry his belts. Ex-Manchester United captain Wayne Rooney called him a legend, a warrior and a great person.
I've known him for 20 years. I mean, thousands of people came over to Vegas to watch him fight, which just shows you how much of a people's champion he was and how much he was loved and adored, and he was a friend.
Today, Ricky's family, which includes 3 children and a granddaughter, said he inspired generations with his fighting spirit, his humility and his love for the sport. But beyond the titles, the nights to remember and the roar of the crowd, he remained the same down-to-earth Richard who never forgot where he came from. The loss was felt too by his second family, Manchester City, with a minute's applause ahead of yesterday's Manchester derby.
It was an experience that I will remember, because they felt, and every applause of every person in the stadium, the gratitude for what they have done professionally, and of course being a massive City fan.
Leaving boxing left a hole bigger than all the arenas he once filled, but typically he faced his mental health problems head on, letting his guard down to help others open up too.
Once you've experienced that high of being so loved by so many people, and and winning world titles, and once that's gone, it's a very hard thing to come back down to earth to.
In one of his proudest moments last year, Ricky was inducted into boxing's Hall of Fame alongside his friend Jane Couch, who Ricky supported throughout her battle to legalise women's boxing.
I'm just in a daze. I'm in a dream, like it's not real.
Do you think he ever fully appreciated how well loved he was?
I don't think he did, He was just the boy next door. He'd want us all to still be laughing and joking, I suppose. And he just touched so many lives. And he was a remarkable person.
Ricky died at his home, which he named Heartbreak, in tribute to his idol Elvis Presley. Like the King, the hitman shone in Las Vegas, but his light went out too soon. Chris Hall, ITV News.
Well, we could have filled an entire programme with all the tributes to Ricky Hatton, couldn't we? Ricky was a man who knew massive highs and lows in and out of the boxing ring.
Yes, there were world titles and there were defeats, but there were also very public concerns over his mental and physical health. Our correspondent Mike Hall reported on so much of that journey for Granada Reports. He looks back now at the life of a man who wore the scars of his professional and personal battles with the same pride and courage.
He was the kid from the council estate who became a global superstar.
Richard Hatton!
Richard John Hatton was still in primary school when he first laced up a pair of boxing gloves. It was clear he was destined for greatness. Skills honed in the cellar of his parents' pub were soon turning heads in his home city.
It's always great to be top of the bill anyway, especially in Manchester. I've sold loads of tickets for the fight. I always get a great following from the Manchester people.
A British champion at 22, his first world title came a year later. But it was the summer of 2005 when his life would change forever. The hitman producing one of the greatest nights in British boxing history, beating the legendary Kostya Tszyu, the #1 fighter in the sport. The bright lights of Las Vegas came calling.
That's what I've come to see. That's what I've come to see.
And his army of supporters travelled with him. Tens of thousands, many without tickets, made trips across the Atlantic, all wanting to be part of Hatton Mania. And he took the States by storm.
Oh, good body shot from Hatton. Oh, great shot!
He was now a box office star. A-listers queued up to meet him. Tom Jones, Wayne Rooney, David Beckham and the Gallaghers, all in awe of the new superstar of British sport. But Hatton always stayed grounded. Every victory celebrated with his adoring fans in the US and then back home.
I'd like to think there was never airs, no graces with me. You never see me walking up and down a red carpet or anything like that. I'm thinking it really was what you see is what you get.
And that was his great appeal, a seriously good boxer who never took himself seriously.
What do all your friends and family make of it?
They think I'm a nutter, you know. I know I've taken maybe 1 or 2 shots in my time, but I think this is the final straw for him. They finally think I've flipped.
The accolades continued to pour in, including one of his greatest honours, the MBE.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
It's pretty special, isn't it?
Yeah, I looked down, saw my mum crying and nearly started crying myself.
Never a fighter to take a backward step, Hatton would now risk his reputation to face 2 of boxing's all-time greats. Vegas was again bursting with Brits.
Who have you come to see? Floyd? Me?
But Floyd Mayweather and then Manny Pacquiao proved a step too far, with both multi-million-pound showdowns ending in crushing defeats. Hatton briefly hung up his gloves before a comeback fight ended the same way.
And they said, I'd give it my best, it wasn't there. Well, that's the end of Ricky Hatton, and I'd like to thank the fans.
In retirement, Hatton struggled to find peace, turning to drink and drugs, and on numerous occasions, attempting suicide.
And when I was walking down the street, you know, and I'm thinking, is everyone laughing at me? Is everyone laughing at me? There's Ricky, he got knocked out. And literally felt that, and I know I didn't need to because I was so loved.
In recent years, Hatton had seemingly found happiness, back in the mainstream as a Dancing on Ice contestant. He was a successful trainer and fierce mental health advocate. His death has rocked the sporting world and way beyond. We may never see another quite like Ricky Hatton, the people's champion, who never forgot his roots.
I would probably say my greatest ever achievement in boxing was the fan base. I'd like to think people would remember as, oh, Ricky, yeah, he was a world champion, yeah, but he was one of us.
Well, joining us now, another former world champion, Manchester's Anthony Crolla, and alongside him, the former British super middleweight champion, Paul Smith from Liverpool, both of whom knew Ricky for many years. Anthony, We just heard there in Mike's piece that he said his greatest achievement was his fan base. He was so well loved by so many. We all felt like we knew him, but you really knew him.
Yeah, he was, like you say, that was his greatest achievement. But I think everyone could attach themselves to Ricky. He was, the Jack the lad, the support he had, and I think just like the song says, and there only ever will be one Ricky Hatton, and it's heartbreaking to see, the stuff there, that the ride there and the highs, the lows, and yeah, it's a tough one.
Paul, you're also close friends with Ricky. You knew him for many years. What did he mean to you?
He meant a lot. He was always a role model. I turned pro in 2003 at Ricky's gym, and just he made it very clear from day one, and I needed to ask him, and I certainly did over the years with advice, and you didn't even have to ask with Ricky. He would just stop and give you the advice, and his brain, his boxing knowledge was frightening. He was very underrated in how good he was, and how technically good he was, and how much he knew about boxing as well. But obviously, as Anthony's just said, just to be around him, only now we're realising a lot more how lucky we actually were to get to spend the time around him, because he was wanted by so many people, but we had access to him, and we were the lucky ones for that.
And was he really generous with his time?
He was. I think anyone who'd go up to him, ask for a picture, but not even that. I think, you see all this, like in Vegas, the big nights at the arena and stuff, they're the pinnacle. But I remember from early on in his career, he'd be at amateur shows and he'd be giving advice. I remember as a young kid myself, admiring him, asking him for advice. He'd always take time, and you'd see that. And even at ex-boxers, boxers who've retired and stuff, he was an hero to them as well. He was an hero to so many people.
Yeah. Paul, if you look back 20 years ago when he was at the peak of his career, is it fair to say that he was arguably the best boxer on the planet?
The time when he beat Costa Tzu was ranked up there very highly, and that win will always stand out as probably his best achievement. But what a night! I fought the night before, and I was delighted that I could just go and enjoy that fight rather than having to fight on the undercard and then get changed and be ready. But that night, people forget it was 3 a.m, and it was packed. It was absolutely packed out, sold out arena. Everyone's staying awake to watch him, and that's the type of support he had. Obviously, it's well documented what he did when he was fighting in Las Vegas. The amount of fans that flew over to watch him, 30,000 fans here and there just to go to Vegas, as was said in the VT then. But everywhere he went, he was stopped. He was pestered, minded, as he would say, but I never ever saw him say no to any fault at any time. Sometimes it'd be to his detriment. He'd miss out on things.
And how do you think, what's some of the best memories that you remember? How you remember him?
Some of the best memories, I think we've seen some of them in the ring, but people forget then what he'd done as a coach as well. He had a world champion, his son, Camel Eaton, professional career, young Jack, his brother's son, he'd help Matthew out at times with him, and he was a fantastic coach as well. He was a fantastic teacher, and I think, I always say this about Ricky, I think he probably saved a lot of lives going down the wrong road and stuff like that, getting him into boxing, because he inspired so many to go into a boxing gym and take up boxing, stop them going down the wrong path. But he'd speak a lot about mental health, and he probably saved even more lives in that. People who was a bit scared to speak out, they thought, if Ricky speaks about it, why can't I? If a former world champion can speak, why can't I?
What a legacy he's left behind. Paul, Anthony, tough day, but really appreciate you two coming in. Thank you. Thank you. Well, there's lots more coverage about Ricky Hatton on our website, itv.com/Granada.
Well, now to some more of the day's news, and the parents of the 3 little girls killed in the Southport attack have given heartbreaking testimony to the public inquiry.
Yes, BB King, who was 7-year-old Elsie Stancombe and Alice Aguirre, aged 9, were all killed in the attack on the Taylor Swift-themed holiday dance class in July last year.
Well, Anna Yosef is following the inquiry for us at Liverpool Town Hall, and Anna, their parents all arrived together, didn't they?
They did, Katie. They are the 3 families who, in their own words, paid the ultimate price that day, their daughters' lives. They arrived today united in grief, but also united in the hope that by putting themselves through this process, they'll help uncover the truth. They want to know if this attack could have been prevented, and if so, why wasn't it? Elsie Dott's mother told the inquiry her and her husband often asked themselves, what have we done so wrong in life to deserve this life of pain? She said, Elsie only went to dance and make bracelets, and I never got to bring her home. I walk past an empty bed every night. I stare into her room, praying this nightmare will end, but it never does. We live it every day. We lost everything that day, and I need to understand how this happened. Alice's parents sat side by side as their legal representative read out their statement. Her mother described running into the building and looking into the faces of little girls who'd been badly injured, searching for her baby girl. She described her relief when she found her daughter and then her devastation when she realised her happy, loving, innocent little girl had been hurt by a monster. Alice, who was an only child, died hours later from her injuries. Her mother said, instead of the three of us sharing a bed, we now share a bed with Alice's teddy bear. And if you squeeze its leg, it plays Alice's voice message. This is the closest that we will ever get to our daughter. Our little family unit is no more. BB's mother told the inquiry that this couldn't just be another box-ticking exercise. She said she believed her daughter's life was stolen because systems failed her. She raised her voice as she said, the truth must be faced, accountability must be taken, and real change must be made. Lauren King ended her statement with these words. Her name was BB. She was just 6 years old. She deserved so much more. She deserved to live. The inquiry continues tomorrow.
Anna in Liverpool, many thanks indeed.
Well, next, and two North West hospital trusts are part of a national investigation into failures in NHS maternity and neonatal services. The trusts covering Blackpool and Morecambe have been named on a list of 14. Morecambe Bay Trust says it's supporting the investigation and showing good practice after already making improvements to maternity services. The inquiry aims to drive improvements with bereaved families at the heart of the work.
In showbiz, and Warrington actor Owen Cooper has made history as the youngest ever male actor to win an Emmy Award.
The Emmy goes to Owen Cooper.
The 15-year-old was named Best Supporting Actor in a limited series for his part in the Netflix programme Adolescence.
Standing up here is just, wow, it's just so surreal. Honestly, when I started these drama classes a couple of years back, I didn't expect to be even in the United States, never mind here. But I think tonight proves that if you listen and you focus and you step out your comfort zone, you can achieve anything in life.
What a superstar. Well, Merseyside actor Stephen Graham also picked up 2 prizes, an award for Best Lead Actor in a limited series, as well as a prize for Best Writing.
Well, next, it's time to meet our first nominee hoping to represent the North West as Pride of Britain Fundraiser of the Year.
Yeah, each year, 4 amazing fundraisers are chosen from hundreds of submissions as our regional finalists, with the frontrunner going to London for the Pride of Britain National Awards.
And our first nominee is certainly no stranger to running. Earlier this year, Phil Hayward from Wirral completed the challenge of running 10k a day, every day, and barefoot for an entire year.
Yeah, the PE teacher was raising money for the Alzheimer's Society after seeing how the disease affected his grandfather. Our correspondent Victoria Grimes reports.
Ready, guys? Star jump, let's go. Star jump, Storm, let's go.
He's a PE teacher who's brought new meaning to the school run. So when Mr. Hayward started his challenge, the kids were right behind him, every step of the way.
So it was 10k a day for a year in bare feet, and through all different weathers, torrential rain, snow, ice. I've done it every single day in work. I think I did it 193 times. So mentally it was quite draining.
In your bare feet?
In my bare feet, yeah.
How are your feet after all that?
I always say the first 3 weeks were, you know, it sounded a great idea, but after 3 weeks I was thinking I can't continue this. I honestly wouldn't have got through some of the stage of the challenge if it wasn't for the children, and they'd come in and high-five me and how are your feet, and they're always, can I get you a drink of water? making me posters. They've kept me going, really.
But it was more than just the children who Phil kept going for. He wanted to raise as much as possible for the Alzheimer's Society after his granddad Roy was diagnosed with the disease.
You were really close to your granddad, weren't you?
Yeah, he was like my best friend. My dad was in the Falklands in the Gulf War. So my granddad was also a father figure as well. He's a hero really to me.
And then to go through this diagnosis of Alzheimer's as somebody that's your best friend, I mean...
One thing which was really special and I hold very close to my heart, he never forgot who I was. But just seeing him struggle was very difficult. Seeing him forget who he was and forgetting certain where he lived and things like that. It's just really difficult seeing my family members, my nan who's 95, really struggle, and my mum. Until you live with it, you don't realise how hard it is.
Roy was Phil's biggest cheerleader, but he didn't live to see him complete the challenge. He passed away just weeks before the end.
The next run after was the hardest run I've ever done, knowing that the reason I'm doing this run was for him and he wasn't here anymore. That was I haven't really spoke about it properly, really. Probably still haven't grieved properly, but it was I started the journey and I wanted to do it for him. The reason I did this challenge was to try and raise the awareness so we can try and find a cure in the future. Someone can have their relationship with their grandparents like I did and hopefully keep that relationship till forever and ever, really. But
You all right?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
He used to come watch me play football, didn't he? You and my granddad?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Snow,
Oh, every
rain.
Sunday. Love watching him. The last few breaths he took, he was with him. And it broke him up, you know, he was so upset.
How proud are you of Phil?
Very proud. I wouldn't be here talking to you, but I wasn't proud, would I?
How did you feel when you heard you'd been nominated?
Totally gobsmacked. I can't believe it, really. Things like this don't happen to people like me and people in this area.
Nice and high. Fast.
We are all really proud of Mr. Hayward because he's like a true role model and he's finished his challenge for everyone who has Alzheimer's, is that you say it?
Yeah.
Alzheimer's. And I think it'll truly help them like make a positive change.
He's just taught us everything whilst doing the challenge, so it's been super hard for him to concentrate on everything else as well.
For us at school, Mr. Hayward is truly our hero.
He is the most humble man. So I knew he'd absolutely die when I nominated him for it. Children all love him. But watching him over the last year has just been such an inspiration for everybody.
What do you think about Mr. Hayward being nominated for a Prize Britain Award?
It's amazing, it's phenomenal, it's just every good adjective.
And what about you, Botal? What do you think?
I believe that if there was an 8th wonder of the world, it would definitely be him.
Well, fingers crossed for him, guys, eh?
Mr. Hayward, what a legend. And there'll be more Pride of Britain candidates tomorrow night.
Back to tonight's top story and the reaction to the death of former world boxing champion Ricky Hatton. Just a reminder that Greater Manchester Police say that at the moment they're not treating his death as suspicious.
Our reporter Tim Scott's outside Ricky's home in Hyde for us. And Tim, a very sad day for the town that Ricky Hatton loved and never left.
Yes, absolutely, Katie. And for the dozens and dozens of people who've arrived at Ricky's house today to leave flowers, he was absolutely one of them. A local lad made good, but one who never moved away despite all that success in the boxing ring. And that was something that endeared him to his fans and to the people who lived here. And the people I've spoken to today described Ricky as a friend, somebody you could talk nonsense to in the pub for hours over a pint, someone who understood them and someone who made them proud to say they were from Hyde. And that's what many people are struggling with today. People have been in tears as they've tried to explain to me how they're feeling and try to explain to me just how much Ricky Hatton meant to them. Now, as you've heard, the sign on Ricky's house there reads The Heartbreak. That's after the Elvis Presley song Heartbreak Hotel. Ricky, of course, a huge Elvis Presley fan. Tonight, that sign has taken on a poignant double meaning. Now, there are plans afoot for a more formal tribute. The Mayor of Greater Manchester, Andy Burnham, has said he's looking for a proper way to honour Ricky. And writing on social media, he said, Ricky made us smile and made us proud. Rest in peace, champ. Katie Gamal.
Tim, thank you. Well, we're going to remember Ricky Hatton now, a warrior, world champion, but also father, grandfather, son and brother.
Yeah, it was an honour to follow your journey. Good night.
Why do I need a shower? I've been out in the rain.
The faster you go, the sooner you'll be out. You'll save water too.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Hello, a very good evening to you. A pretty unsettled start to the week with those strong winds continuing to bring unsettled conditions through tonight, particularly for western coasts. Blustery showers continue to feature again tomorrow with a wet and windy spell due on Wednesday. A deep area of low pressure will push in through tomorrow night and to start Wednesday, bringing that wet and windy weather. But before that, Tuesday will tend to be a rather showery day with some more sunshine to look forward to than we've seen this afternoon, and winds easing down significantly. However, over the next few hours, gales still very much part of the Irish Sea, and along our coastline some really big waves, and even on higher ground gusty conditions for a time tonight. After midnight we'll begin to see winds easing down a touch, but showers continue to feed through. Very damp, rather cloudy, and a mild night to come. On to tomorrow. The Sun Times, it's up at 6:45, setting at 7:25 tomorrow evening. For most of us, there's a bit more brightness on the cards tomorrow, but it's another very showery day. Winds at least not causing any problems during the day tomorrow. It's breezy at worst. And through the afternoon, perhaps a bit of brightness to look forward to for the northwest of England and the Isle of Man. A bit drier as well through the course of the afternoon. 16 or 17 Celsius isn't particularly warm, but in general, temperatures will be picking up a touch over the next few days. As that low pressure pushes up from the southwest tomorrow night, bringing wet and windy conditions on Wednesday, it also brings some slightly milder air. It's not going to be chilly by night and by day above average, with a fine day to come on Thursday. Bye-bye.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.